journey begin. I was buzzing with excitement as I waited to board the Mumbai-Delhi flight. The flight had gotten delayed by an hour or so, and my restlessness increased. There was a lot of pacing up and down at the departure terminal in anticipation of the days to come. Post the delay, which seemed like an eternity, I finally landed in Delhi at around midnight. Hello, Delhi. A Volvo which was to take me to Manali was scheduled for the next evening. There was time enough to catch up with some old friends. Chota bhai, and have coffee at my favorite South Indian restaurant in Connaught Place, a place I would frequent during my years in Delhi. After a memorable few hours spent with old buddies, it was time to catch the bus to Manali from Majnu Ka Tila. I could barely sleep during the overnight journey as my mind remained lost in thoughts, which were mostly centered around the upcoming bike ride. A ride which was 8 years in waiting. A ride at 50. A ride from Manali to Srinagar via Ladakh. Ready to go? Just as the sun rose, Manali was in sight. I had an entire day to myself out there. The ride was to commence from the next morning, and an old Manali tour seemed like a good option. And what started as a touristy visit to the ancient Gayatri temple in Jagatsukh turned into an entire day spent visiting a series of ancient temples in the area. A first for me, and what a gratifying experience at that. The temple visits at a subconscious level did prepare me for the adventure, as by the evening, the prevailing restlessness had settled, my mind was calm, and I was ride ready. Yet again. Join me for the ride. Is it for the high passes which have led me to some of the most uniquely picturesque landscapes in the world? Or is it the adrenaline rush which evokes the adventurer in me to rough it out with a will to be triumphant time and again? Or is it a spiritual journey of a kind where being right up there on top of the world brings me closer to God? I guess it's tough to pick out one, as experientially it's a culmination of the mentioned attributes. Riding to Ladakh has always been a multi-dimensional journey, both literally and figuratively. And the land of the Lamas keeps calling me back every few years, much as I long to embrace its peaks with all my heart. This is my 9th time to Ladakh on a bike, and the romance continues. The road to Jispa from when I visited last has improved leaps and bounds with the inclusion of the Atal tunnel. The 9-kilometer long tunnel proved to be quite a fascinating ride, but at the back of my mind was hovering the nightmare of crossing the Tandi village in 2016. Tandi village falls shortly after the tunnel. Back in the year, there was barely any road in Tandi. It was raining so heavily, and as I crossed the bridge, my bike skidded off whatever little road was there. It was no short of a miracle that I managed to escape from falling deep into a 300 feet gorge. Upon reaching Tandi this time around, it seemed like another place with well-made roads, a newly constructed bridge, and a few welcoming eateries. Another stop maneuvered, another one to go. I moved on to Jispa with a sense of relief. It was as if the ghost of Tandi had spared me for good. So we make the first halt of the trip in the beautiful Jispa Valley. I'd come here a few years back. The roads have pretty much changed, the area has changed a little bit.
but the valley remains the same, as pristine and as beautiful as it was ever.
So you can see these little houses on the other side of the bank. It's actually a small little village which is completely cut off from the mainland, but for this little tool that they use to pull themselves. You see this lady, she's just pulling herself along and she is about to come to the mainland. So these are the small wonders you get to see at these places. This is our campsite. How beautifully is this place nestled, right? That happens to be my Shahi Tambu.
Welcome home.
And the tents are amazingly done up even from the inside. This is a little restaurant in Jispa. It's quite, in fact, it's quite sorted. ठंड में पकौड़ों का मजा, मतलब this is too good. These are delicious. The chai is absolutely great. My evening is made. This is gorgeous. You can actually continue to look into emptiness for hours on. और थोड़ी ठंड लग रही है.